Hello, Year 3. I want to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who sent us a message yesterday to let us know that you were finding some of the questions a little bit tricky. I hope the video that I made was helpful, and please keep messaging us to let us know how you're getting on with our fractions learning. Yesterday we were looking at putting two fractions together to make one, to fill the whole shape. We're going to build on that today by learning about addition of fractions. Remember, when we're adding, we're putting our parts together to make a whole. Can you do that with me? We take our parts, put them together to make a whole. We'll start by looking at our workbook pages from yesterday, and then we can look at today's lesson. Here are the answers from yesterday's workbook. Pause the video to check your work was correct. Remember, if you've got any questions or you're confused, send Miss Downing or Miss Lopez a message. So far, we have learnt that the number on the bottom of a fraction is called the denominator, and this tells us the total number of equal parts a whole has been divided into. Here you can see my rectangle has been divided into 3 equal parts, so the denominator is 3. The number on the top is called the numerator. This tells us the number of equal parts we are counting. Here in my rectangle, one of the equal parts is purple, so my numerator is 1. 1 out of 3. We would say 1/3. Yesterday we were looking at using two fractions together to make 1. We already know that 1/3 of the rectangle is purple. To fill the whole rectangle and make 1, we would need the other 2 parts to be shaded. This would be 2 out of 3, which would make 2/3. So we know 1/3 and 2/3 makes 1, makes the whole rectangle. Today we are going to be moving on and learning about adding fractions. We already know the 2 parts of a fraction, and I'm going to leave it at the top of the screen today to help you. Can you remember what adding is? Pause the video and see if you can explain what adding is. Adding is when we put 2 parts together to make a whole. So here I am adding 1 and 2 to make 3. And we can do the same thing with fractions. So here I am putting 1/3 and 2/3 together, which would give me 3/3. We started doing this yesterday, so we already know a little bit about adding fractions. On the screen, I have got another delicious chocolate bar. Do you notice anything about the chocolate bar? I can see the chocolate bar has been divided into 5 equal pieces. We might say the chocolate bar has been divided into fifths. Can you say that with me? The chocolate bar has been divided into fifths. Our friends from Maths No Problem have decided to share the chocolate bar. The little boy is saying that he is going to have 1 piece of the chocolate bar. That would be 1 out of the 5 pieces. The little girl has decided that she will have 2 pieces of the chocolate bar. Can you pause the video and write the fraction for the amount of chocolate each child will eat? Remember, look at the top of the screen to help you put the numbers in the correct places. Pause the video and write down the fractions. Let's have a look together. The chocolate bar has been divided into 5 equal pieces. So I know the denominator, the number on the bottom, is going to be 5. So each piece will be 1/5 because it's 1 out of 5 pieces. So the little boy eats 1/5 of the bar, 1 out of 5 pieces. And this is how we would write 1/5 as a fraction. The little girl ate 2 out of the 5 pieces, so she ate 2/5. And this is how we would write 2/5 as a fraction. Can you check whether or not you wrote the fractions correctly? Well done. Now we need to work out how much of the chocolate they have eaten all together. We know that the little boy ate 1 piece of the chocolate bar and the little girl ate 2 pieces of the chocolate bar. So together they ate 3 pieces. 1 piece plus 2 pieces makes 3 pieces. We could describe this using our fractions. Instead of pieces, we could describe them as fifths. We could say 1/5 plus 2/5 makes 3/5. So they ate altogether 3/5. They ate 3 out of the 5 pieces of the chocolate bar. Have a look at our number sentence that we use to work out how many pieces they ate all together. What do you notice about the denominator? What do you notice about the numerator? Pause the video and describe what you notice. I can see that the denominator, the number on the bottom, is the same. This is because our chocolate bar was split into 5 equal pieces, and this does not change. The numerator changes though, because the little boy had 1 of those pieces, 1/5, and the little girl had 2 of those pieces, 2/5. So the total number of pieces that have been eaten is 3/5. So our numerator is 3. Now it's your turn to use what you have learnt to see if you can add these 2 fractions together. Pause the video and add 2/7 and 3/7. Let's have a look at how we would do that. I've started with a bar that I've split into 7 equal pieces. Can you tell me why I've split it into 7 equal pieces? I've split it into 7 equal pieces because the denominator is 7. I'm going to start with 2 of those pieces, and then I'm going to add 3 more of those pieces because I'm adding 2/7 and 3/7. Now I need to think about what fraction there is altogether. Do you think the denominator is going to change? It's not going to change because the denominator only tells us how many equal parts a whole has been divided into. We do not change it because we haven't changed the number of equal parts. When we add fractions with the same denominator, we can just look at the numerator and add them. So we could say 2 add 3 is 5. We could say 2 pieces add 3 pieces makes 5 pieces. Or we could say 2/7 add 3/7 makes 5/7. We're just adding the numerators because they tell us the number of equal parts we are counting. Here's one more for you to have a go at. This one is a little bit trickier because you're being asked to find the sum, you're being asked to add 3 fractions. Can you pause the video and add 1/11, 2/11 and 3/11? Let's have a look at it together. To start with, my bar has been split into 11 equal pieces because the denominator is 11. I'm going to start with one of those pieces for 1/11. Then I'm going to colour in 2 more to show 2/11. And finally, I need to add 3 more to show 3/11. And now I can work out what the sum is by counting all of the pieces. Put your finger on the screen and let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 pieces out of 11. What do you think that would be as a fraction? It's going to be 6/11. Remember, the denominator does not change because that's just telling us the total number of equal pieces. We're just adding the numerators. Now it's your turn for your independent practice. You've got 2 pages to do in your books today, page 93 and page 94. If you're struggling, you might want to start by drawing out a rectangle and splitting it into equal pieces. Look at the denominator to work out how many equal pieces. You can then use 2 or 3 colouring pencils, like I did, to colour in the different numerators, and then you will be able to find the sum. Give it a go and remember, anything you're not sure about, anything you're confused about, send Miss Downing or Miss Lopez a message so we can help you. I look forward to seeing all of your work and I'll be back tomorrow for our next fractions lesson.